9 years ago, I understood the rule that divided my life into before and after. A simple principle got to me. I don't need to hide my flaws from people, especially from women. As soon as I began to apply this rule in my life, I noticed dramatic changes. Self-esteem went up. It became easy to get acquainted with women, and meetings were stress-free. After the first dates, the girls always wrote themselves and wanted to meet again. Such a drastic change surprised me at first, but now I know why it happened. And I know that each of you can use this rule. And now I will tell you how to do it. How to stop being shy with girls. We always wear a mask. The mask of the perfect friend, the tough guy, or the best match. Men are scratching their heads. How to look more serious, look more handsome, or seem really important. We are constantly trying to please someone. And it turns out that the opposite is true. Wearing a mask causes endless discomfort, a feeling of inferiority and unworthiness. 9 years ago, I decided not to pretend anymore. And I said to myself, stop. From now on, I will stop masking all my shortcomings. I realized that I will never be a perfect husband, friend, or parent. A few days after this decision, I was meeting an attractive girl and found myself in an unusual situation. I suddenly realized that I was literally telling this beauty not to meet me again. I simply said, if I were you, I wouldn't do it. She asked why, and I said, look, I'm not romantic. I will not make you surprises on February 14. I can be decisive. If I say no, you will have to put up with it. And then I told her a whole list of my personal qualities and habits, which in a normal situation, women consider negative. I didn't want to impress the girl. I just wanted to be genuinely sincere with her. It was so freeing for me, and there was no fear of a bad ending. When I finished speaking, I looked at the girl and realized that everything I said had the opposite effect. She looked at me with much more interest than before. We are constantly afraid of failing. If you're not able to please, you are not able to play the desired role. And while we are afraid, we plunge into an endless act, which is doomed to failure from the very beginning. Because a person suffering from his own lies radiates with negativity like a damaged old TV. This is painful to look at. How to be sincere with a girl. We are hungry for genuine direct communication, where everyone can honestly say everything that they think, meaning both men and women. When I began to be myself at every meeting, I soon noticed that even with the person who I see for the first time, we communicate as good old friends. On such a wave, you can ask about anything, and you can be sure that you will get answers. The girls became comfortable with me, despite the fact that I often asked very personal questions on the first date. But you must understand that such comfort begins with being honest with yourself. The rule, do not hide your flaws, only works if you do not pretend. That is, when you're able to say something about yourself that is not very pleasant for you. You need to be as honest with yourself as possible in order to sincerely tell women. Relationships with me are torture, but if you want, we can try. But I warned you. A truthful warning always works to the benefit of the relationship, because you give a woman the opportunity to chase you, and that's exactly what she wants. And vice versa, when you try to please a girl, to match the image of an ideal partner, some kind of Hollywood standard of a prince, the girl doesn't see the reason to conquer you. You deprive her of the desire to independently take steps towards. That is, you immediately take away the lion's share of pleasure from a woman. And now imagine what will happen if romantic courtship works and a relationship begins. The man will try to keep up the brand of a perfect gentleman, creating a beautiful movie for her, the best restaurants, expensive gifts, romantic vacations. What will happen in a few years when you'll watch this movie 100 times? A woman will turn all the efforts of a man into a reason to complain. Before, everything was different. You used to be different, and I loved that other one, but not this version of you. So it turns out that we are participating in the rat race for cheese, which does not exist. We are endlessly trying to please everyone, And even constant failures do not make us give up masks. After all, modern man is not concerned with being himself, but with painting a perfect picture. How to accept yourself. Why is it scary to go on a date or meet on the street? It's terrifying that an attractive person will say, looking straight into your eyes, "You're such a nothing. Look at yourself." If at this moment you have a heart attack, this is a signal, not a signal of low self-esteem, but that you're trying to be someone that you are not. This is the pain of one's own arrogance, inflated from fantasies and dumb expertise you found online. And the more your ego is bloated, the more painful it is when you're faced with reality. A familiar therapist once told me a story from his practice. A girl with a very low self-esteem turned to him. She practically hated herself. They talked via video, and in parallel with the conversation, he decided to look at her social networks. And he saw a completely different person there. She retouched herself from head to toe, face, body, hair, eyes, skin tone. He looked through the video again and saw a girl with a good athletic figure and pretty features. The question is, why did she need all of this masking? It was the simple desire to inflate her ego. She was so afraid of reality that she made up her own flaws, and it tortured her every day, made her hate herself and feel disgust when looking in the mirror. He suggested that she upload photos to her profile as they are. She resisted, but he was relentless and the girl gave up. After a while, she saw that many people like her natural photos. And then it turned out that these pics attract people even more than the previous ones. She started to get pleasant comments and compliments. And after a few months of such practices, she wrote that she felt happier than before. She said, "When I was finally able to look in the mirror and be satisfied, life was divided into before and after." How to understand that a girl likes you. The next time you go on a date, think, what do you want? To make her fall in love with your virtual image, in your fake idea of yourself, which is so hard to maintain. It's not you, and you'll never be who you pretend to be. After the decision to no longer fake my image, my view on women changed. I wanted to communicate with a woman only if she was interested in me, only if it was me who attracted her, the way I am, and without reservations. How do you like this method of approaching yourself and building a relationship? For me personally, it became the only one. Did you enjoy this video? Did you find this information helpful? Are you interested to learn more about the method? Do you want to continue your journey of self-improvement with us? Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell as well, so you don't miss the next video. We have a lot more videos coming, so it would be great to receive some support if you found this content useful. Comment below if you have any questions regarding the topic. We're happy to answer. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.